Deep listening.
الاستماع العميق.
Deep listening.
Intensiv zuhören.
Deep listening.
Deep listening.
深度聆听.
Deep listening. Impact beyond words. Hi, this is Oscar, and this is a bonus episode available only to the subscribers of the Deep Listening podcast. What you'll hear next is my reflection during a 3-city roadshow where I spoke to hundreds of people and culture leaders, human resources leaders, talking about the art of listening as it relates to their staff and their organisation. Because this episode is only for our most loyal listeners, our subscribers, I wanted to see if you could help. I'm prototyping a course for managers in organisations, Deep Listening, the Manager's Masterclass. And I'm looking for only 10 managers who can provide feedback on the course that we'll be launching this year. The course is designed for managers who work in organisations of more than 500 employees. And it's a commitment. I'll be asking for 3 30-minute meetings with you to hear and listen to your feedback. That will enable us to improve the course for you and for other managers for the Manager's Masterclass online course. I really value you as a loyal listener, and this request is only going out to you. So if you're keen to listen and to provide feedback on the Manager's Masterclass for Deep Listening, please send me an email, podcast@oscartrimboli.com. That's podcast@oscartrimboli.com with the subject line saying Manager's Masterclass.
Deep listening.
الاستماع العميق.
Deep listening.
Intensiv zuhören.
Deep listening.
Deep listening.
深度聆听.
Deep listening. Impact beyond words. Please promise me you'll stop surveying your staff. I recently finished a 3-city roadshow where I was presenting to over 200 people and culture leaders, human resources leaders, and internal communications professionals on the topic of the art of listening. I started each session with a very simple request. Please stop surveying your employees until you implement what they actually asked you from in the last survey they did. Surveying is hearing, and your employees want an action plan and it to be implemented to prove that you're listening. If you want to stop being the cheerleader for people filling in surveys and actually move the dial on engagement, the value of completing a survey will be self-evident to the employees once they see the leaders implementing what they asked for the last time around. With a simple show of hands in the room, when I pose the question, does your executive team have an action plan that they track, review and communicate to the staff regularly across all the locations? Only 10% of the room would raise their hands. And you see the rest of the room would sigh, quite frustrated. Now, when I drilled a little further and asked for those 10%, are you really communicating regularly? The number of hands went down to 0. What surprised me is how many people came up to me at the end of the presentation saying, Oscar, you said what we were thinking and struggling with when it comes to these surveys and our employee engagement. My team, the executive team, thinks employee engagement is a tick-in-the-box exercise. It's the responsibility of human resources or people and culture. And for us, it's frustrating and draining. Our leadership team use it as a baseball bat to belt us over the head with when scores go down, or they use it to light candles on a sugar-coated birthday cake if by any random chance our scores increase. When I explored a little further, I asked, how would you describe the leadership team's approach to listening to their employees? These are the words that came back consistently. Biased, defensive, with favouritism, inconsistent, patchy, shallow, siloed, sporadic, superficial, and my all-time favourite, not at all. There were some rare responses like, we're looking at it quite actively, we're looking at it with empathy, and we realise we need to change. The difference between hearing and listening is the action you take. So here's 3 practical things leaders can do to listen to your employees. First, ask your employees what they need first to help them make them more productive in their role. Second, regularly meet with your employees and communicate the progress you're making against their initial request. And then finally, listen to what your employees aren't saying. Listen for what's unsaid and consistently ask them this very simple question: is there anything else? When you ask, is there anything else, magically you'll hear code words like, well, actually, or what I should have said was, or, what's really important to me? Or finally, what I need the most is. Organisations that use surveys to listen to employees are doing the basics. But if you want to take it to the next level, to really listen and to have an impact, you need not only to listen with surveys, you need to listen in the corridors, in the kitchens, and in those moments. This is where listening magic is created. Please promise me you'll stop surveying your staff.
Deep listening.
الاستماع العميق.
Deep listening.
Intensiv zuhören.
Deep listening.
Deep listening.
深度聆听。
Deep listening. Impact beyond words.